Welcome back to B4Crypto. Yes, something big is about to happen. And guys, we're going to analyze the market because we're going to look at the news of Bitcoin, and we're also going to look at the daily and the 4-hour chart. And guys, we're also going to analyze the DXY, the dollar currency index, and also Ethereum, because we had some major news on the Ethereum network, and we're going to look at this news because this is a once-off for Ethereum. So guys, if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end. And guys, by smashing up the like button and subscribing to this channel, you'll manifest the abundance of wealth. So guys, support me on my mission to grow this channel big. So guys, we're going to start directly on the daily chart. And guys, as you can see that we are underneath the previous all-time high of 2018. So guys, at the moment we are struggling to hold this level. But guys, we're going to look at the chart and we're going to look at the resistance and the support for the time being. And guys, first of all, this red trend line comes all the way from the previous all-time high at 69,000 US dollars. And we're going to find out how many touch points we had on this downward sloping trend. We can see that we had 1, 2, 3, and at the moment we are seeing that we are crossing this line towards the upside. So guys, we are consolidating out of this trend line, but as you can see, we have broken this trend line exactly here, and at the moment we can see that we are close to retesting this trend line. So guys, are we going to hold this trend line and bounce from this trend line, or are we going to see a pump towards these trend lines? Because guys, the yellow trend line comes all the way from the levels of 30,000 US dollars from all the way up here. So guys, as you can see, we had 1, 2, 3 touch points and also a 4th touch point. So guys, are we going to break this trend line towards the upside and see that we're going to form a higher high for Bitcoin? So guys, at the moment it's really important for Bitcoin that we stay above this downward sloping trend, the red trend line from the previous all-time high. So guys, are we going to see this bounce and re-establish at these all-time high levels, and with that break this level towards the upside? But guys, we're first going to look at the news that is going to happen in the next 24 hours. Because guys, something big is about to happen, because first, we are getting a major news event in these areas, and we're also going to see that we are coming to this end and Bitcoin has to decide for a direction. But guys, at the moment, I think we are closer to the bottom than we are to the top. Because guys, everybody was shouting in the levels of 69,000 US dollars that we're going to go even higher and maybe even reach the 100,000 US dollar level. But guys, at the moment we can see that it's exactly the opposite. A lot of people think that we're going to go lower. And yes guys, maybe we're going to go a little bit lower and maybe even come to the previous low and break the low and come even lower. But guys, I really do believe that if we're going to see this bearish scenario play out, that we are going to see a fast move towards the downside and a bounce from these levels very quick, and that we're going to see this V-shaped recovery and come back into these levels. But guys, maybe we're going to see a bullish breakout for Bitcoin, because guys, at the moment the economy couldn't get any worse and everybody is already pricing in this big recession. And guys, maybe we're going to see that Bitcoin will be the head against inflation, or we're going to see that the Federal Reserve is getting the inflation rate down, or maybe even the Federal Reserve will pivot. Because guys, tomorrow we will have the CPI release. So guys, we're going to go over to the CPI report, and as you guys can see, tomorrow 13th of October we are going to get the CPI report and the CPI data. So guys, are we going to see that the forecast of 8.1% is going to be the actual number, or are we going to see that we're going to have a higher or a lower rate? So guys, if you like this content so far, go down, smash up the like button and subscribe. And guys, we're going to go over on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, because guys, it is really important that we need to hold these levels. We're going to find out which levels we need to hold. So first of all, we can see that we had a lot of resistance in these areas. And that is also where we had this last retest of this downward sloping trend. So guys, we saw that we dumped all the way to these levels where we also have previous support. And guys, you can see that resistance later on turned into support. So guys, at the moment we can see that Bitcoin is holding the support in this support box from $19,080 roundabout to the levels of $18,800. So guys, if we zoom out a little bit, then we can see that level of 18,800 US dollars is a very important support for Bitcoin, because we could see that in history we bounced off from these levels exactly here, and at the moment the price of Bitcoin is exactly in these levels. So are we going to see that we are once again going to bounce off from these levels and that we are going to reach this yellow downward sloping trend? Guys, I think that we are going to see what scenario will play out within the next 24 hours. Because if we're going to see the CPI release being exactly here, we could maybe see a negative CPI report, and with that we could see a major rejection from these levels and maybe even go as far as the previous low. But guys, maybe if we're going to see a good report and also maybe a shift in the Federal Reserve's plan, we could see that the price of Bitcoin will break these levels. But guys, maybe also a lot of people see Bitcoin as the best opportunity to hedge against inflation, and then we also could expect that we are going to see a move towards the upside. So guys, tomorrow we are going to see the data from the CPI release. So guys, now we're going to look at the DXY, because guys, like I showed you in my previous videos, that I expected this dump towards the downside. So guys, if you have watched the previous episodes, you know that these drawings come from the previous episode. So guys, I expect maybe that we are going to see this lower low for the DXY and maybe come towards the downside and retest this parabolic trend line, and maybe we're going to break these levels. Because guys, it all makes perfect sense. If we're going to get a positive news from the Federal Reserve and from the CPI data, we could expect that Bitcoin will go even higher, and that maybe we're going to see that the DXY goes even lower to maybe even retest these levels. So guys, maybe this could be the beginning of the end, and no, not for Bitcoin, but for the dollar. Because guys, the inflation can't be stopped and Bitcoin is the best option. So guys, if you want to buy Bitcoin on the spot market and also trade Bitcoin on the leverage market, go down in the video description below and follow my BitGet link to receive a major deposit bonus, and also you support this channel. So guys, now we're going to go over to Ethereum and we're going to start with this news. So guys, as you can see, Ethereum's weekly supply growth turns deflationary for the first time since the merge. Ethereum's supply growth has become deflationary over the last 7 days. For the first time since the merge, as its new supply growth fell to minus 0.12% in the last 7 days, according to estimates from Ultrasound Money. So guys, it is for the first time that Ethereum is deflationary, and that is quite good for Ethereum. Because guys, in the long term, Ethereum is a good investment, but guys, the only big problem are the high gas fees. So guys, maybe over the time when we see these upgrades for Ethereum, that we're going to see that the gas rate will come down, and that is also going to be good for Ethereum. Because at the moment, a lot of Ethereum killers and a lot of altcoins that have the same function as Ethereum will maybe have a little advantage towards Ethereum at the moment because of low gas fees. And guys, we're going to go over to the charts to find out how Ethereum is performing at the moment. So guys, over on the daily chart for Ethereum, you can see that we perfectly held this support box and we bounced off from these levels. We had a retest down at the level of 1,262 and we bounced off from these regions. And at the moment we are seeing that we are getting this bounce from these regions once again. So are we going to see that we're going to bounce off from these levels once again, and that we are maybe going to reach the level of 1,450 to round about 1,470 and maybe even break this trend line towards the upside? It will all depend from the CPI data that is going to be released tomorrow. But guys, at the moment we can see that these levels are holding quite strong. So for Ethereum it is quite important that we're going to hold this support box. We're going to find out what is going to happen at the CPI release tomorrow. So guys, I will keep you updated. So guys, remember, manifest the abundance of wealth by subscribing and smashing up the like button. And make sure to be for crypto. We see each other in the next video.